But before Neil deGrasse Tyson's cosmos was Carl Sagan. But before we get into his anti-Christendom episode, here's his quick overview. Sagan's son said his dad believed in the God of Einstein and Spinoza. Einstein believed in the God of Spinoza, and many, including Blavatsky, tie Spinoza back to Bruno as inspiration. But instead of Bruno being the hero on Sagan series, they chose Hypatia. Here's a quick decode of his episode.
Greek kings of Egypt who followed Alexander had at least this virtue. They supported the advancement of knowledge.
Off rip, just as he says advancement of knowledge, we have the Masonic floor, pillars, and ladder, just as the entered apprentice degree.
Let me tell you about the end. It's a story about the last scientist to work in this place, a mathematician, astronomer, physicist, and head of the school of Neoplatonic philosophy in Alexandria. That's an extraordinary range of accomplishments for any individual in any age. Her name was Hypatia. She was born in this city in the year 370 AD. This was a time when women had essentially no options. They were considered property. Nevertheless, Hypatia was able to move freely, unselfconsciously, through traditional male domains. By all accounts, she was a great beauty. And although she had many suitors, she had no interest in marriage.
So she was definitely getting around, but at the same time, in the esoteric view, she was still a virgin, independent from the bondage of Saturn's rings in their belief. So she might have got passed around, but that's okay because some way in their lustly beliefs, she's still a virgin for hidden truths according to the esoteric mysteries. And if you're not initiated into the mysteries and don't have that Christ consciousness, you just won't understand.
The Alexandria of Hypatia's time, by then long under Roman rule, was a city in grave conflict. Slavery, the cancer of the ancient world, had sapped classical civilization of its vitality. The growing Christian church was consolidating its power and attempting to eradicate pagan influence and culture. Hypatia stood at the focus, at the epicenter of mighty social forces. Cyril, the bishop of Alexandria, despised her, in part because of her close friendship with the Roman governor, but also because she was symbolized. She was a symbol of learning and science, which were largely identified by the early church with paganism. In great personal danger, Hypatia continued to teach and to publish until...
So she was literally an allusion to Isis Unveiled, because she was a woman unveiling the so-called mysteries hidden by the so-called Saturnian demiurgic government at the time. HB would see her spiritually aligned with the supreme being in the material world, so in their false reality, she'd be a divine union of the above and the below, just like the High Priestess card. And on top of that, Blavatsky says if Hypatia was never persecuted, then all throughout the Dark Ages, everyone would have embraced heliocentrism, and the world would have been just a bunch of quote-unquote enlightened beings. So, in esoteric teachings, both Sagan and Neil can be seen as hierophants in tarot, because the hierophants teach the secrets of the mysteries veiled in allegory, so the secular don't understand. And that's exactly what Tyson and Sagan seem to be doing. So we have all of these occultists, mystics, scientists, and Satanists agreeing and finding an equilibrium that whatever was happening during that 1,000 years was bad, and that
We must not let it happen.